minds. If you haven't seen this, just turn the show off and go watch it and then come back.
Don't watch it. No, please don't watch it.
It's not something you want to watch.
Okay, if you want to have fun watching Heroes, you can watch it because it's ridiculous. But it wasn't the best played Heroes.
Oh no, it's
by a long stretch.
If there's
the Koreans are so bad.
Okay.
Well, it was also 1 a.m. when they were playing it.
That's true. It was late.
It was like the 13th hour of broadcast.
It was almost like they had got to the point where they're like, all right, we won. And they had this sense of relief, and they treated the game as if it was over. And they stopped playing seriously. They were probably tired, they were exhausted, and they shut their brains off. And in an unlosable situation, they lost. I mean, 7 team fights in a row is what it takes to lose when you're ahead 3 levels with a 100-skull goal.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, they're capable of throwing that hard.
So, yeah, there was 2 things. I think you brought up autopilot. That's absolutely what DK was doing in that sense. But, you know, still credit to Navi for, like, not giving up in that scenario. It was a 100-skull goal at the core.
That's wrong.
What do you mean?
DK wasn't autopilot, they're bad.
Okay. Guys, point out, I don't think after they completely messed up the first fight, when Navi came back, I don't think they actually had an advantage.
Why?
They got their comp because our team fighted so hard by the Navi one, when they actually hit the sanctification. Because that was the big change. The sanctification hit, and they completely crushed that fight.
Plus, Rita Frost is useless in that situation.
And the other reason
that was the
is that
sanctification.
Sniper, Sniper get getting combos.
Yeah, Sniper threw hard that game.
But after Sniper,
in your room too.
after Sniper got caught twice by Kerrigan combo, I don't think DK had a lead. I think Navi had a lead after that.
I agree.
So is Sniper the weak link on the team?
I think there's
I
only
don't
one
think
good
so.
player on that team. No, 2. I'd say 2.
SE?
SESC and Jehu. I don't think any of their carries are very good.
Jehu.
Lunchable.
The support?
I don't think he's good.
But Sniper was definitely out of position a lot in game 2 versus Tempo.
Yeah. I think they're all good range carries, but I don't think any of them are like, a K1 Pro tier or something.
Okay.
Like, none of their carries like dazzle, ever. They're carried by...
This is his first
Jehu.
Lunchable ever.
It's a special experience.
You don't go double cracker, then the balance is going to be off.
Don't worry.
There's only
He's
one...
also got double cheese, so there'll just be an extra meat.
Wow.
You ate a lone ham.
So I just need one more.
Just eat it.
Don't-
Just eat
Oh
it.
god.
Go ahead.
What needs to happen?
Just
Right?
eat it.
No, just one more hand?
Just eat it.
No,
Special guest, just eat
It needs
it.
to have balance.
Athera, I'm going to throw things at you. Put it in your mouth.
Look at what this has come to.
Yeah, we knew this was going to happen.
Are people actually going to watch this?
Oh, that
I hope not.
I don't know why they were.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's not bad.
It's not bad?
Not bad.
Lunchables. It's not bad.
Can we explain
Was
why
anyone?
Lunchables? Do we explain that part of it?
No,
Zoe loves Lunchables.
Yeah.
that's all the explanation you
Alright,
get, Gooby.
that's it?
That's it.
Alright.
Is there more of a story I'm missing?
So
It was,
anyways,
but I can't remember.
there, before I was
Back to the
interrupted...
show, guys.
Yeah, SCSC is one of the best warriors in the world, I feel. He's really, really
Mhm.
good, especially his Cheerio. And I don't think Jehu's support play is anything great, but his shot calling
He's
is
a drafter
fantastic.
and a shot caller, so.
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
His like, DK wins because of the rotations and how
That's
aggressively they move around. So I think Jehu's great because of his shot calling. But none of the 3 range carries, like, they're just always there for me. Like,
So
I don't think they're
SCSC, Noblesse, Crazy Moving, Sniper, all 4 of them are former StarCraft 2 pro gamers and actually close friends. And they were playing Heroes together. We actually got to interview them and sit down. And they were just talking about how they met Jehun. And Jehun has no prior pro gaming experience. He was just a Hero League warrior that they met, and they were like, this guy's really good. And
Support.
Support? What did I
You said warrior. But yeah, go ahead.
No, didn't he say Hero League warrior?
He
Hero League warrior, like a Hero League.
Yeah.
My bad, go.
Anyways, but now he's like not a pro gamer. They bring him in to be their shot caller, their drafter. It's a really cool story, and the guy's quite talented. But like you said, he might not be the most mechanically talented player, but when it comes to his game sense,
Yeah, they win
He
because
is
of the
good.
rotations. They're really, really good.
I would say Mary Day is mechanically better for sure, though.
See, I would have said that
Really?
before I
Did
saw
you see the Butcher
the
Uther
final.
stuff?
Yeah.
Come
And
on.
I just I think it's got
Those
to
were
be
like the
best,
worst
actually.
divine shields I've ever seen.
He was divine shielding like it was an incest whip. It looks like it was his first game.
You know Butcher's unstoppable when he's doing Ruthless Onslaught, right?
I know.
So why do you need to de-shield him?
Because Butcher's impossible when he's unstoppable.
Don't sing.
We talked about this. He's like, yeah, okay. Alright, moving on.
So, all things considered, this means that Navi does not have to play day 1 of BlizzCon, and Cloud9 does not have to play day 1 of BlizzCon. They're both guaranteed top 4.
Top
They
four.
will start BlizzCon at the semifinals.
Tickety
Day
top
two.
four. Tickety
Day
top
2,
four.
and they literally, I mean, it's literally you play a best of 3 in semis. You either lose and you're done, or you win and you're in grand finals, which is the best of 5.
That's how bracket works.
Well, it's not the blue one.
Right, yeah, okay. You could have just said...
It's almost like it's the exact same format as Vegas.
These are your co-hosts! Right here!
Nailed it.
Alright, anyway, so they move on. You're
I'm in a-
doing a best of
I
5.
feel like a filth sandwich between you two.
Filters.
No! Anyways, on the other end of the bracket, it starts off. Who are your guys' first opponent?
YO.
YO
Or GIA.
or GIA.
They have to play first. We play the
So
winner.
it's YO versus GIA,
Yeah.
and then on the other side it's Tempostorm versus Braveheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EDG.
If Tempostorm defeats Braveheart,
EDG. Edward Gaming.
well, it's Braveheart though.
Edward Gaming. I see 3 of them.
Hey, are we
Edward
going to
Gaming
talk
fans.
about the controversy, the disconnect? Are we touching
I
that or not? Are we touching that or not?
Wait,
Please.
hold
Memory.
on. Let's stick with this current controversy. Edward Gaming. Let's talk about that
Trying to say
controversy.
conversation and controversy.
You're right, you're right. Okay, alright, Jared, you can talk about that, and the whole thought, we'll talk about you guys' games versus YL after that. Jared, go.
Okay, so remember 2 episodes ago when we talked about roster locks and how...
I think we covered this. Didn't we cover this last week?
No, we didn't find out until after Town Hall.
Was it?
Also,
Alright.
tell me what didn't happen last week. Come on, QB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cognitive almost got screwed out of a tournament. Tempostorm, same
I
thing.
know.
Do you have any passion?
Anyways, guess what? Going into BlizzCon, a team got to make a roster changes.
Now, they got to make roster changes because Asia was only going to have 1 representative. E-Star, the number
What about
1
Korea?
placed team
What about
in
Thailand?
China, was...
Nah.
Sorry, you're right. E-Star, the number 1 team in China, had visa issues, denied visas. Now, this was the same team that got denied their visas for PAX, MSI MGA, and...
Fun fact, they got the visas now.
Now, do they?
Yeah,
they
Yeah,
did.
a week ago.
they got them
Like,
like 30th.
so
10-year
close.
ones though, don't
Yeah.
worry.
So close to being in time.
But they have it for 10 years now, which means
Yeah.
it comes to tournaments.
If
Which is
they're
actually
good.
cool.
That is
That
good.
is a cool
That
thing.
is good. That's good to hear.
Bad news
Because-
for us, that's what
Because
I'm saying.
everybody says these. I mean, I talked to DK, I talked to the Chinese commentators at PAX,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone says
Yeah, I agree.
E-Star and Edward are the top 2 teams in China. And
We have Edward Gaming here, which is cool.
half of them. We have 3. So
Can anyone confirm whether it's 3 or 2?
It's
it
three.
is 3.
I keep getting told
It
different.
is 3.
It's
If you
three.
look at the jackets, there's 3 of them wearing Edward Gaming jackets.
That's how
there's
we
2
know.
of them
It's the
wearing.
jackets.
But,
Yeah.
but
Not player
as far as I
ID.
know, only 2 of the Braveheart players did not get visas. And so that was Lucian and Faisal.
Well, if you're gonna go, if you're like getting a lot of roster changes, might as well get rid of all your bad players.
You might as well get your best team.
Actually, what it was that they had 3 people. One of them was the team manager, and he said he didn't want to play for the team because he didn't feel it was fair.
Yeah, but it's
So
fair to
that's
get
what I-
roster changes.
Alright, well, that's your point. Go ahead, finish.
That's my point.
So
Chinese got roster changes.
Okay.
So they didn't get roster changes. You keep using this and saying that they got roster changes, okay? You know, this is Blizzard making a decision
Like, if
to say we need a team from China to represent at the very
Yeah.
best.
MVP
We can
Black
put 2
could
teams
show
together.
up.
They didn't say, hey, EDG, a team that didn't qualify,
Okay,
can
so
we
here's
just
where
throw
it is,
together
though.
a team, make
Here's
our own
where it is,
roster
though.
changes.
We were this okay, so they wanted another Chinese team, right? We were this close to forfeiting Vegas and just would have not shown up at all. Where's the leniency there?
Those are 2 different scenarios.
Where? Where one? Like how? How is it 2 different scenarios?
Because you're a team that's saying we want to drop out because we can't keep our team together. That's a situation where the team couldn't show up and they said, well, we need representatives from that region.
The rule
If
doesn't
you dropped
say.
out, then they would have just picked up another team from North America.
The rule doesn't say unless there's visa issues, you can't do roster changes. It says
Blizzard
you
made
can't do
roster changes.
It says you cannot make roster changes. There's no, unless there's visa issues.
They didn't make any roster changes. Blizzard did. So it's not like it was favorable for either of those teams. They took two teams together that only had 2 weeks of practice and merged them. If they just swooped in E-Star and E-Star swapped out one member, that might seem fishy. But that's not the case. If they just took 3 or 4 members out of that team and gave them Edward Gaming's best player, that's not fair. They didn't do that. That's what they would have done. There was only one player from E-Star that was having roster issues. They didn't bring the 4 and then have a roster change. Then we could bitch.
No, we can bitch either way. The rule says no roster changes. Not unless there's 3 and only not 4.
E-Star?
EDG, Edward Gaming. Hello? They're at BlizzCon.
Eat this paper.
Yes,
Are you
the
done? Are you done, Jared? Are you done?
the circumstances are not the same, but it's still.
I get you. I understand where you're coming from, but they are different, and it is the most ideal situation that Blizzard could have come up with to get 2 Chinese teams. Yes?
Okay, can we move on to a
That's-
fun part of the show, like talking about
Them
connection
sucking?
issues?
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to get started about that. Can we talk about that now?
Doug, preface it. Let's go.
Oh, now
What?
you're doing it.
I want you to open it.
Yeah, you open it.
You.
Alright, it was you guys versus WoW.
Game 1.
Alright, so game 1, right? There's this like hilarious game on Spider Tomb where Jig
Spider Tomb.
has Kael'thas Azmodan, and basically the idea with the Kael'thas Azmodan comp is if you make it to the late game, you've won the game.
Yeah.
Like you literally cannot lose if you get to like level 13 is like kind of the breakpoint, but really like 16 is where you literally can't lose the game anymore. And they have gotten there without having any keeps down in game 1. And then suddenly, Chinese DDoS,
323.
we lose connection. The game server basically crashes because when all 10 players are disconnected, some funny stuff happens, and sometimes you can't reconnect, etc., etc. 45 minutes later, we hear there'll be a regame, no redraft.
No, that's not the only thing though. The thing was, like, they'd just thrown, like, their lead. They just lost this team fight.
That was the turning point.
They
Yeah.
literally just got wiped
Yeah.
against this comp where we can't lose late game. We're like a level up. We just got a pay in. We had another pay in like ready.
They also have solo support to Rande with a no healing points.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Against Globe Asmodan.
Against
We were
Blade
like-
Asmodan and Garethas.
We're gonna take a keep off of that pay in and probably get the game off the next pay in, right? And unfortunately,
We have
something
to now,
happens where